Hello student, in today's session we are going to study NCERT Class 9 Political Science Chapter 2 Constitutional Design. This is the fourth segment of this video. In the previous three segments of the video, what you have learned that how why we need a constitution, why there is a need of a constitution, then how earlier the South African have country having under the colonial rule, or you can say under the British rule, by which how they used to fought, they fight with them, how many reforms, how many revolution were done by the number of the revolution. If we talk about the first president of the South Africa, that is the Nelson Mandela, that earlier he was the revolutionary, so he has given the punishment for the life imprisonment. For that he has to live in the jail for next 28 years when he got the this punishment. Then after that, how the white people have discovered on the basis of especially the racism, they do not allow the black people and the people who have migrated from the India to the South Africa. They don't allow them to come inside the premises where they have written the hoarding over there that in the night the black people and the Indian people, they do not come inside this premises. They used to come, so the army and the dog, they have given the permission that they can shoot that particular people at that moment, and who they give order to the their you can say the dog that you can bite them or just you just kill them. So all those, so far we can come to over that how the white people used to discriminate the black people over a period of time when they got the independence on 26 April 1994. Then they come up with the finest constitution of the world, which takes 2 years to make the constitution, because each and every country is very much diverse. For me, drafting the constitution, the people have to do a lots of debate, and you can say the lots of discussion by which they come up with the that much of the, or you can say that they come up with the good making of the constitution by which the rules, the regulations, and the articles which are going to fulfill the needs of the present generation as well as the future generation. Then later on we come to know about that the new emergence of the constitution, that which made by the South African government, which was considered one of the finest the constitution of the world. Then we come to know about the next one is the why there is a need of a constitution, which I already explained in the previous segment, that if there is no constitution, the people used to think that whatever the things used to come in their mind or in their heart, they can do that. They don't have any kind of fear that I'm doing something good or I'm doing something bad. They just do whatever the things used to come in their mind. If we make certain rules and the laws, if some person used to commit a crime, so he had the fear that I had committed the crime, the law going to punish me. Maybe they're going to shoot me, maybe they're going to put me behind the bars, or they used to give me the life imprisonment, or they used to going to give me the punishment to hang till death. So these are the things, this is why we need of the constitution. Then we talk about the country India. Yes, our country is the seventh largest country in the world, and because of the diversity, it is not easy to make the constitution for such a diverse country. So where the 299 elected representatives, they used to come together in the assembly. When they used to discuss, they used to did the debate. The father of the constitution, B.R. Ambedkar, he drafted the constitution. So the final drafted constitution we get on the 26th November 1949, and the final when we used to adopt the constitution on 26th Jan 1950. Then later on we come to what kind of changes we have seen, what kind of discussion we have did, and what because the Gandhi is not the elected representative, then the people who are the follower of the Gandhiji, how they used to give the vision of the Gandhiji, and they used to introduce in the constitution that these are the certain points, and these are the vision which we have to include in our constitution in the article for the betterment for the Indian people and for other nation. So far we have discussed that what how the people, the follower of the Gandhiji, they mention their ideas that they want the country to be free, all the people should be equal, abolition of the untouchability, then the poor, these countries belong to the poor. If they want to raise their voice, they can raise their voice. Especially in the other words, we can say that the freedom of speech. And later we come to know about that on 15th August 1947, midnight. what the Prime Minister said on the 14 August, that is the midnight. So that is the 15th August. So we got the independence on 15th August 1947. So what he said, long ago, we made a trustee with the destiny, and now is the time to come. We shall redeem or pledge, not wholly or in the full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of midnight hour, my world, when the world sleeps, when the world used to sleep, India will awake the life of freedom. Now we got the independence on the midnight, that is the 14th August, but at the midnight there is the another day, that is 15th August. So we got the independence on 15th August 1947. A moment comes at that time that which comes but rarely in the history. We will step out from the old to the new, from the old India to the new India, when the age ends, when the soul of a nation, long suppressed, finds the utterance. It is the lifting that the solemn moment we take of the pledge of dedication to service to the India. Now we take a pledge that we want to serve our India and her people to the still the large cause of humanity. Like what it means is said that till my last breath I want to serve my India. Freedom and power being responsibility. So it is one of the utmost important responsibility, that is the freedom and the power. The responsibility rests upon us, assembly, a sovereign body representing the sovereign people of India. Before the birth of freedom, we have endured all the parts of the labor, and our hearts are heavy. It means there is a tear of happiness in our eyes with the memory of this sorrow, that how from last 200 years, or you can say from last 150 years, we are fighting for our independence. Now how many freedom fighters have given their life for this freedom, for which some of the pain continued even now. Yes, there is the pain even now. Nevertheless, the past is over. It has the future that beckons to us now. This future is not for one of ease or resting, but the instant striving, so that we may fulfill the pledge we have so often take, that one will shall take today. Like we have take the pledge, there yes we are going to fulfill all the promises which is did by the representative, you can say, or the leaders or the freedom fighters. We are going to fulfill each and every wish what they want to see in this country. The service of this India means the service of the millions who suffers. They want to do the service to the not only a particular individual, to all the people of this nation. It means the ending of the poverty. Yes, utmost important factor, you can say the utmost important challenge in the front of the union government at that time was the poverty, then the ignorance, then the disease, and the inequality of opportunity, because they were the like you can say the discrimination between the lower caste and the upper caste, the toll level. So they want to abolish the untouchability. The ambition of the greatness man of the generation has been to wipe every tears of the every. Now what they take the duty that yes, want to wipe up every tears from each and every individual. They may be beyond us, but as long as there are any tears and suffering, as long our work will not be over. So he want to fulfill all the promises of the every individual, that I can't go physically over there to wipe out the tears, but I will make this nation like that, that the particular individual healed by their own self. Yes, this is the country which we want to see after the independence. So the first one, we start with the trust with the destiny. The philosophy of the constitution, this one is there. Tally with that which you had discussed. Now the philosophy of the constitution. Now in this case, this things which we have mentioned in a preamble, the first was the people of India, then the sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. This all the points used to come in the preamble of our Indian constitution. Yes, we are the people of India. We are the sovereign. We are not differentiated on any basis. Yes, we are the socialist. We are the secular. We are not going to discriminate on the basis of, you can say, we are giving the certain privileges to the particular state, that we are given the right to the particular state, that you can promote the any of the religion. No, we can't given any of such rights to any of the state. Then we talk about the democratic. Yes, we are the democratic country. Yes, we are the republic country. Yes, we have the justice. We have the liberty. We have the freedom. Yes, we have the equality irrespective of race, caste, religion, whatever it is, the place of birth, the state you belong to. Yes, we have the equal and the fraternity. So values was inspired and guided the freedom struggle, were in turns nurtured by it from the foundation of Indian's democracy. So values are inspired because we are inspired by the many of the causes which I earlier mentioned that we have discussed with the different countries like when the B.R. Ambedkar used to take that particular country's constitution, they used to deliver that but he used to deliver or he used to speak in front of the assembly that this is the article, this is the rule which they have mentioned in their constitution. He used to speak, and after that the people used to do the debate over there that yes, we have to mention this is the article or this rule by which it is going to help our Indian people as well as the future for our country. So form the foundation of Indian's democracy. This value are embedded in the preamble of the India Constitution. They guide all the articles of Indian Constitution. Constitution began with a short statement on of its basic values. This is called the preamble of India. Or in the simple words, we can say that if the particular book is having their index, or you can say the acknowledgement, just like that, the Constitution having their preamble. Taking the inspiration from the American model, most of the countries in the contemporary world, or you can say the modern world, have chosen to begin their constitution with a preamble. So the most of the people are fascinated with the what the American constitution adopted the preamble. So the number of the countries have also adopted that their first will start with the preamble. So in the preamble, we see that we, the people of the India, means the constitution has been drawn upon, enacted by the people through their representative, and not handed down to them by a king or any other outside powers. Yes, we are the democratic country. We are having the elected representative. We are not a monarchical country. We don't have our own king, or none of the country have the right that they used to come from the outside and they used to rule over us. So yes, we are the people of India. Then the second one is the sovereign. People have supreme right to make the decision on the internal as well as external matters. Whatever the decision they want to make in the internal basis or the external basis, they have the right, they can take their decision. None of the people have the right to intervene or to interfere in that decision. No external power can detect the government of India. The none of the, you can say, the ruler or the dictator can't rule over the government of the India. That come towards the socialist. Wealth is generated socially and should be shared equal by the society. Now, whatever the you can say whatever the money you have generated socially, it should be distributed among the all the people. The government should regulate the ownership of the land industry to reduce the social economic inequality. The people who is having their own, you can say the property, they can do whatever they want to do, and the government should distribute it the land to the all like to give the number of the jobs or the employment to all the people to remove the social economic disparity. Now come towards the third one, that this is the secular. Citizens have the complete freedom to follow any religion. Yes, they have given the right. If they want to any of the religion, they can what if I give you the example, like if any of the person wants to become want to take or want to change his religion, like from Hindu to Christian, so he can do that. There is none of that exclusion, you can't do it. It is your willingness, you want to change your religion or you do not want to change your religion. So but there is no official religion. So in India, we are not having any kind of official religion. You can say the Hindu religion or the Muslim. No, we respect each and every religion. Government treats all the religion, belief, and practice with equal respect. Yes, they used to give the equal respect to each and every religion, their people, their belief, their caste, their community. Everything used to give them the equal respect. Now the democratic, yes, we are the democratic country where we elect our own representative by casting our vote, one person, one value. So the form of government where the people under the equal political rights elect their rulers and hold them the accountable. The government is run according to the some basic rules. Now the republic, the head of the state is an elected person and not hereditary. So the head of the state is elected person and not a hereditary person position. Justice. Citizen cannot be discriminated on the grounds of caste. Now they can't be discriminated on the basis of the caste, religion, gender. Some inequalities have to be reduced. Government should work for the welfare of all, especially for the disadvantaged group. Now here what they abolish the untouchability and the citizen of India, irrespective of their caste, the place of birth, the place of state, the gender, whether they're rich or poor, the status, whether they're rich or you can say the poor, whether we talk about the gender, the male and female, we should give them the respect and whatever the injustice is going to with them, so we have to provide them the justice. So this all the powers is come under the all the courts of the India. So these are the citizen cannot be discriminated on the basis of ground of caste, religion, gender. Social inequalities have to be reduced. Government should work for the welfare of all, especially for the disadvantaged group. Now come to the words with the liberty. There are no unreasonable restriction on the citizen in what they think, how they wish to express their thoughts, and the way they wish to follow up their thoughts. And again, now, so we have the liberty, we have the freedom of speech, whatever the things or whatever the ideas, whatever the views we want to express, we can express in our own way. That doesn't mean we have to come in the certain attire or we have to come in the certain beliefs that this of the things we have to express or this of the things we do not want to express, whatever things we used to come in our mind we can express it, but none of the person have the right to intervene it. So this is the what comes under the liberty. Now the equality, yes, irrespective of the place of birth, the state, if we talk about the state or rich or poor, the gender, if we talk about male or female, if we talk about the race, that is the white or black, whatever the color you have, or the creed and the any of the thing, so we are all equal. All the people, or then the one of the most important thing, all the person are equal before the law. If you recall from the previous classes, like from class 7, you have learned that all the person are equal before the law. Starts from the first citizen of this country, that is the president, till the kanta, that the poor lady. So all the person, irrespective of their religion, their caste, their race, whatever it is, all the person are equal before the law. So the religious social inequalities have to be ended. The government should ensure the equal opportunity for all. Now the fraternity, all should behave as if we were the members of the same family. Yes, we are the people of India. We have to refer themselves as the family, and no one should treat the fellow citizen as the inferior. So none of the person are given the right that you think yourself as the superior and you think of the other person as the inferior. Now to come towards the next topic is that the institutional design. How the institutional design is there, that a constitution is not merely a statement of values and philosophy. It's we can't consider it as the values of the philosophy. As we noted above, a constitution is the merely about embodying this value into the institutional arrangement. Much of the document called the Constitution of India. Yes, most of the document we call it as the Constitution of India is about this arrangement. It is very long and detailed document. Yes, it is very long and detailed document of the world. It is very long and detailed, therefore it needs to be amended quite regularly to keep updated. Yes, I said it many a times, according to time changes, according to the preference of the people, we have to appeal it, we have to amend it, we have to do the different of the changes in our constitution. It is a very long and detailed document. Again, I want to repeat that they are repeating that those who crafted the Indian constitution felt that it has to be the accordance with the people aspiration, which I already explained, according to people's belief, according to people's perspective, according to time changes, because the number of the changes we have to made in our constitution, changes in the society that did not see in the scared, static and the unalterated law. So they made the provision and they incorporate changes from time to time. These changes are called the constitutional amendment. So you have to keep this thing in mind, like according to the time changes, and then in this contemporary era or in this in this modern world, according to the time changes, people aspiration, people's belief are changes. So they want to see these changes in the constitution. So what they do that if firstly they used to do the willingly. First what they used to do that they do the peaceful protest. If the government is not listening them, if the government is not listening, that they start conflicting with the government. And if they are not listening, that they approach to the media, like you take our beliefs, our views towards the government. They can listen us and they can amend the in the constitution. If they're not listening that, then they go towards the court that this kind of certain changes we want in our article. So we can use the word appellate or the amend in the constitution. If whatever the changes we want to see in our constitution, the word is the amendment. So if that which I already explained in the first segment of the video, that we can't dissolve our constitution over the period of time when the people perception change, with the people mindset change, and what are the new beliefs they want to add in this constitution, so we can amend it. The constitution describes the institutional arrangement in a very legal language. Yes, they're using the very legal language, which you can refer. If you want to refer, you can refer the Bare Act, which they mentioned the constitution over there. It's in a perfect or the legal language. So some of the person not able to understand that. If you read the constitution for the first time, it can be quite difficult to understand. But the basic institutional design is not very difficult to understand. Like any constitution, the Indian constitution lays down a procedure for choosing person to govern the country. Now they choose the person to govern the country. So like our country starts from the first citizen of India, that is this president. Then after that you can see the vice president. Then you can take the prime minister and the CM of the country, and the CM of the state, not the country, and that particular state is governed by the governor. So Indian constitution lays down the procedure of choosing a person to govern the country. So it defines who will have and how much power to take which decision. So in the constitution it's mentioned over there that whosoever the person is there, how much power were given to them, whether you talk about the president, the vice president, the PM and the governor and the CM. So it defines who will have how much the power to take which decision, and it puts the limits to what the government can do by providing some rights to the citizen that cannot be violated. The remaining three chapter of this book about this three aspect of working the Indian Constitution, we can look at the some key constitution provision of in each chapter to understand how they work and the democratic polity. So far in this chapter, first we come to know that how the particular country earlier is governed by, or it earlier is ruled by the Britishers or the colonial. So first in this chapter we learn about the India and the South Africa, which was ruled by the Britishers over a period of time, like how the Britishers used to suppressed, or you can say they exploited the black people in the South Africa. They do not allow to do anything to, like they do not allow these black people to do anything, like they do not allow to go to the school, they do not allow to go to the churches, they do not allow to go in the public places, so they stop them. So if you recall there is one hoarding, or you can say that is where written they write the message over that in the night none of the black people and the Indians are not allowed in our premises. If they do so, if they come over there, so the army have the right that they can shoot them, and they can allow the dog that they can bite them. So you can say that how much level the Britishers or the white people suppress the black people, and they used to discriminate on the basis of their race, the black and the white. If they do this kind of the racism, so is any of the country going to tolerate it? No. Then the Nelson Mandela, he was earlier he was the revolutionist. Then because he was the revolution, he was sent to the jail for the life imprisonment. But after when the South Africa got the independence on 28th 24th April 1994. So he became the first president of the South Africa. After the 2 years, they come up with the constitution, which was considered one of the finest constitution of the world. Then we come to know about the why we need a constitution. We need a constitution because a country is very vast, very diverse. So it is very much difficult to make the constitution in which the elected representative, that are the 229 members who used to sit in the assembly. When the B.R. Ambedkar used to take any of the country's constitution, he used to read that this particular country has adopted, or they used to mention this particular rule in this book. So you're going to adopt it or not. So they used to discuss in a very long way. They used to debate it over there. Yes, we want to include this, and this thing we do not want to include that. So it take 3 years, and after the 3 years we get our constitution, that is on 26 November 1949, and finally we adopted on 26 Jan 1950. The later on, what are the points which we have included in our constitution, that are, the first thing is that is the we the people of India, then the sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty, equality, and the fraternity. So this all the points which we have included. Then we later included that the Gandhiji is not the elected representative. He is not a part of that assembly. So the follower of the Gandhiji, they used to mention that yes, these are the visions of the Gandhiji, and you have to include it in our articles, by which it going to help the Indian people. So what are the Gandhi visions are? The first is that the poor people think that their own country and they have the freedom of speech. Second, he wants to abolish the untouchability. Third, all the people should be equal, and each and every individual is treated equally. Then the third, each and every person should get the equal chance in the education, in the terms of the job. And if we talk about that, should not be discrimination between the male and female. Both should get the equal chances. If we talk about in terms of the education, if she want to opt for the education, she can go. If she wants to do the job, she can do that, and she equally used to get the right to give the vote. So these are the visions of the Gandhiji. Then later on we come to know that when we got the independence on 15th August 1947, so how the Nehruji has delivered this speech, and his speech he said that like the midnight you all are sleeping, now become free. Then I want to wipe up your tears from your eyes. I'm physically I'm not over there, but and make the plans and make the country a very full and fragile, where you can heal up your own self by the seeing the which country you have dreamed of, which country you want to see. So these are all the things which we have come to know about, that what kind of country we have dreamed of. Now we are seeing that. And later on, when the America got the independence from the Britain, so they adopted the constitution. And the first page of their constitution started with the preamble. So in the preamble, they mentioned the number of the things. So by that, the number of the country was fascinated. They started that in the constitution, the first starting with the preamble only. So like in our preamble, we have mentioned these points. The first is start with we the people of India, the sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty, equality, and the fraternity, and the institution design, where we have give the preference to each and every person in the terms of the equality. That doesn't mean we have give the certain powers to this people, certain powers to this people. We have divided the powers to the all the peoples in the different parts of the country. So far, we have discussed all this in this chapter. I hope you like this video.